course, this will be our 13th race all time since we first began this 2 years ago at Speedway 660. And our 5th race all time at Petty International Raceway. As the Petty International Raceway pace car will come out along with the Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems van, also LV Auto Parts and Repair. Got to shout out the sponsor for the race and also for our series as well. So to introduce the starting lineup for the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 to begin the 2025 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series season. On the EIT Race Radio's poll is the driver of the number 41 car out of Moncton, New Brunswick, Rogers Apartment Rentals on that machine, and King Competition, that's Mike Rogers. Second place is the driver of the number 26 Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia, Coldstream Clear Distillery and Velocity Machining and Welding Incorporated machine, it's Braden Langell. Third place, from Bouctouche, New Brunswick, car number 30, East Coast Auto Salvage Traveling Sea, Tree Care, and DR Scrap Metals. On that one, it's Marcel LeBlanc. First career Super Late Model Series start. Or excuse me, swap that. It's actually ahead of him is the driver of the 01 machine out of Summerside, Prince Edward Island, driving for Chris Fournier Remax, Livingston Steel, and Rayners Automotive. It's Tan Woolridge. Fifth place is your reigning series champion and back-to-back Petty International Raceway race winner from Miramichi, New Brunswick with White Lightning Auto Center, Empire Luxury Limousines, and King Competition, it's Ashton Tucker. Car number 97 picking up a heat win earlier, the Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems machine from Hampton, New Brunswick, it's Chris Duncan. Then there's the NAV Canada Picket Care and Powered Up Electrical Kent Livingston Racing King Competition machine from Cornwall, Prince Edward Island, it's Dylan Gosby. Car number 1 comes from Harvey, New Brunswick at the Waterfront Pub and Eatery, CSN Collision Center, Dana's and Urquhart Eats Troweling, and plenty others. It's Big Orange Ryan Messer. The Snell Group Realty, Taylor Armstrong and Sons Ltd, Line Somerville Racing on car number 10 from Baxter's Corner, New Brunswick, it's Devin Snell. It's the Pub's Drive-Thru Bottle Exchange, Lonnie Somerville Racing number 23 from Barnesville, it's Lonnie Somerville. The OA Brycon Construction Machine from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, it's Nicholas Noggle. Making his Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series debut and a Super Late Model as a whole, the number 37 from Summerside with DC Tire & Brothers Home Improvement, it's Brandon Albert. Car number 48, a former sportsman champion here at Petty Raceway, and 2 years ago won the Yargear 250 at Speedway 660. The number 48 from Boundary Creek, New Brunswick with Plasma Works, Metal Art and Graphics, Burger King, Oblinus Auto Body, and Fiber and Decking, it's Dave Oblinus. Car number 18 looking to bounce back from a heat race incident with Shaw's Towing, McKinnon Bros Service Center, and Cares Ventilation on that one. In relief for Darren McKinnon, it's Robbie McEwen. Caden Tufts, the driver of the number 44 Wayne Smith machine. His personal sponsors are Timberlake Beverage Room, Brad Wayton Mortgages, LPD Pallets, Weekend Woodsman. He's from Hubli, Nova Scotia. Next up is Prince Edward Island's Ironman in car number 8, a multi-time IWK 250 champion, Oysterbed Speedway champion, former Riverglade International winner, it's Kent Vincent. Another first-timer on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, your reigning Maritime Pro Stock Tour Rookie of the Year in the number 25G. With Racing Constructions, CKG Elevator, Supplement King Wolfville from Enfield, it's Gage Gilby. Car number 43 has Bayview Trucks and Equipment on that one from St. Martin's, a former Super Late Model Series Rookie of the Year, it's Hudson Weston. Car number 11 from Quist Pamsis, New Brunswick with Hatfield Auto Body and Glass on that machine, it's Cal Hatfield. The number 81 car comes from New Denmark, New Brunswick with New Denmark Auto, Hanscoms Auto Body, and Hope City, it's Ian Rasmussen. Car number 20 is Greg Fay out of the Charlotte County with A.E. Horn and Son Custom Brokers, Beaver Brokerage, Top Shelf Cabinets, and Carmichael on that car. And then rounding out the field, we have the 88 from Richard Buckdoe Road, it's Kevin Moore with M&T Home Builders. And then the 15 of Cars, Ed Bowlby with AA Towing and Brewers HVAC Solutions on that machine. 23 of Atlantic Canada's best super late model drivers ready to do battle for round number 1 on the 2025 season. This is the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. This will no doubt set the stage for our championship finale in late September with the 61st annual Riverglade International, also sponsored by LV Auto Parts and Repair. The entire field double file. Coming around in behind the Petty International Raceway pace car. Rogers making his first Super Late Model Series start since our season opener 2 years ago. We won a heat race that year, and then Braden Langell making his first career Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series start. And now, this time by, we want everyone up on their feet. Grab your hat, your jacket, whatever, maybe grab your next door neighbor, get up on your feet, give these drivers a wave. They'll wave at you back for coming out and supporting them here to open the 2025 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series season. And they're willing to put on a hell of a show. We're going green this time by. This is the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 at Petty International Raceway, and the 2025 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series season is underway. And what a beautiful sight this is. We've been waiting so long, 29 days to be exact, since we initially were supposed to start our season at Speedway 660, but finally, the green flag is out for year number 3 on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. It's Mike Rogers versus Braden Langell, duking it out for the lead. At the line, Rogers barely hangs on. He continues to lead the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. In behind them, waiting to pounce, is the 01 of the Chris Fournier Remax representative in Tanton Woolridge in his first full-time campaign on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, full-time for the first time in a Super Late Model in general. Finished just outside the top 10 at the Mike Stevens Memorial 254 last year in that same car. And man, oh man, if he were to pull off a victory here today, he still hasn't yet on the Maritime League of Legends Tour. As a matter of fact, if he were able to pull off that first big feature win at a higher level of racing here within the Maritimes, if it was on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, that would be monumental. And man, oh man, would Troy Burke ever be freaking happy. As now taking the race lead is the 26 of Braden Langell, looking to make an impression in his first Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series start. It was before the COVID-19 pandemic when he ran full-time on the Fort Garry Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour. Got off to a pretty solid start at Scotia Speed World last weekend in the Kenny Upol 150. Now 8 laps completed, coming to 9 out of 150. Of course, it's still very early on in this race. Drivers are just getting comfortable, checking their cars out, making sure that they are in for the long run. Of course, we are within the short run right now, and with these slick racing conditions, of course, no surprise that right now we are in a bit of a single file thing, at least towards the front of the field at the moment, double file towards the back. The top 6 have pulling away. That's Langell, Rogers, Woolridge, Tucker, Gosby, and Messer. And then you got a whole wad of packed cars duking it out towards the back of the top 10. As Devin Snell tries to get away, Marcel LeBlanc got sideways off of corner number 2. It causes Noggle to have to back off. LeBlanc still having issues. He had a battery problem earlier during our first practice, as Ken Vinton drops back as well. Not the start that Prince Edward Island's Ironman wants. Hasn't been the fastest of days for him. Came very close to a podium finish last year in our season opener at Petty International Raceway, finishing in 4th. Oblinus was sideways through turns 1 and 2 underneath the Easy-Kleen machine driven by Chris Duncan. Duncan picked up a top 5 in the Riverglade International last year in open competition. top 10 finish in our second Petty race last year. That was the old-fashioned meat market 150. Single file practically through the whole field up until we have Caden Tufts ahead of Marcel LeBlanc. Of course, Tufts making his first career super late model start here within the Maritimes. Trying to get some experience in bigger cars. Of course, he's a legend standout. He's also preparing for what may be his first career NASCAR start with the Craftsman Truck Series at Richmond Raceway in August. Rasmussen has trouble in 1 and 2. He's going to head off to the pit area with 19 laps completed. As we continue to pace around, we have 6 cars almost under a blanket here going for the lead in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. It continues to be Braden Langell making a heck of an impression in his first series start. Of course, a former Maritime League of Legends champion, multiple victories at Petty with the Legends as well. 1 career top 10 here at Petty on the Pro Stock Tour. Made a Mike Stevens Memorial start back in 2017. So hopefully we'll see him a couple more times throughout the 2025 season. I mean, Oyster Bed Speedway is next Saturday, fingers crossed. Mother Nature, of course. And already, how about this? Your reigning series champion and multi-time Petty Raceway winner on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, Ashton Tucker, up to second already, looking to challenge for the lead against Braden Langell. A lot of people know Tucker as a guy that loves to be conservative, loves to save his stuff for the end, saving his best for last. And it's the reason why he was able to hang on over Corey Hall in last year's season opener here on the high banks of Petty Raceway. Tucker looked high, back down low, Langell blocks. They're approaching lap traffic. Cal Hatfield and Ed Bowlby, eventually Kevin Moore, a bunch of Speedway 660 familiar drivers. Langell, Tucker, Rogers top 3. They will all go around the outside of the 11. Woolridge 4th, Messer and Gosby 5th and 6th. Already a way better of a start to the season so far. Again, so far, hopefully the commentators' jinx does not happen there. But Dylan Gosby's number 16, running high up in this field. Did not have the same caliber of a season last year as he did when he won the championship on consistency, precision, all the above practically back in 2023. Picked up a feature win at Oyster Bed Speedway. Fell just short of winning the first ever Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series race at Petty in a wild battle with Corey Hall. Dave Oblinus has made his way up through the field. He's going to challenge Gosby for 6th. He goes low. So we'll see if, not sure if the term the flying hamburger still applies to Dave Oblinus anymore, but nonetheless, we'll see if the Burger King man can get by the NAV Canada machine of Gosby. Langell still staying ahead of Tucker for the lead with 35 laps completed. Make it 36. Friendly reminder, there are no competition cautions, no halfway break, there's nothing. We will go straight forward to the end here in Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series competition. If If we don't have any natural yellows, these races, these 150 lap races, or at least later in the season, it'll be special formats eventually where we may get some of those competition cautions, a halfway break, whatever sort of strategies we choose to utilize. We'll see when we get to those points, of course, later this season, but it's all about endurance. You got to have a car that can get all the way from start to finish. Kevin Moore might be in trouble there as the lead cars are trying to get by him. He goes low. That blocks Gosby from getting by. He'll have to go high instead. A bit of a block in front of Gosby and Oblinus, who are trying to get up towards the top 5. Tucker looking high on Langell on the right rear. They're going to be side by side for the lead. Oblinus and Moore, there are multiple issues going down the front stretch. And Devin Snell is going to take advantage and get by up high. As flagman Tim Elliott, of course, giving all the lap cars that blue and yellow flag, signaling them to let the lead cars get by and do their thing. As Ashton Tucker has taken the race lead, Ken Vincent might have had a problem there through turns 1 and 2. Marcel LeBlanc goes a lap down as Tucker has cleared the way. Your reigning race winner and defending series champion up front. He'll be approaching rookie Caden Tufts in front. Rogers, Woolridge, and Messer continue to remain comfortably from 3rd through 5th. They get past LeBlanc. Double file action now, just getting down the front stretch as Bowlby and Hatfield are passed by a couple of cars, including Nicholas Noggle, Robbie McEwen, substituting for Darren McKinnon. I don't know if I necessarily call it substituting. Darren was like, here you go, essentially. And of course, McEwen trying to bounce back from that earlier heat race incident. He and Ken Vincent made contact going into turn 3. Piled the left rear of that 18 Shaw's Towing Machine into the outside wall. Of course, only body damage. They were able to get it back and safe and ready for competition. Of course, the pole sitter at both of our Petty races last year and finished 3rd in both of them as well, behind Corey Hall and Ashton Tucker. It was the exact same top 3 in both of those races, and same pole sitter. Hopefully we will see that 18 at Oyster Bed Speedway next Saturday with Darren McKinnon in that car and then Robbie McEwen back in the 40. At least that's what we've been told. We would love to have them both out and battling for a home victory. "53 laps completed." It continues to be Ashton Tucker ahead of Braden Langell and Mike Rogers. So Miramichi, Shubenacki, and Moncton up front. Woolridge has been keeping it calm and conservative in back of the 41. Of course, wouldn't want to tear up that 01 Motorsports car too much ahead of next weekend's Universal Truck and Trailer 150 at Oyster Bed Speedway, where he'll look to make an impression at his home track. Of course, a former Bandolero champion at home. Claimed a top 10 finish last year in our second race on the island. Tucker ahead of Brandon Albert's number 37 DC tire machine, which that 37, a former Kenny Snow and Robbie McLean owned car. We had Kenny Snow running with us almost full-time 2 years ago. Brandon Snow made a start last year at Oyster Bed Speedway, and now it's Albert jumping up from the street stock ranks at his home track where he picked up the championship in dramatic fashion at the season finale 1 year ago. All those lead lap cars up front staying up high to get ahead of Hatfield, Albert, Woolridge, and Hatfield had a bit of a touch down the front stretch. Rogers did challenge Langell there for a lap or so, but the 26 stays ahead. Messer might be looking for a higher spot here on Woolridge. We'll see in a couple of laps if that 01 machine can defend against Big Orange. Again, new scheme, new car for the Harvey, New Brunswick driver. It's been an up and down history within the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series at Petty Raceway for Ryan Messer. Right off the hop, the number one memory that comes to mind is 2 years ago, that incident in our first ever race here, caught up in a wreck with Greg Proud and Dave Olblinas. After starting up front two, nonetheless. Messer will 100% be a championship threat as we wind down to the 61st annual Riverglade International LV Auto Parts and Repair race in late September. Ashton Tucker on his way to now lapping Greg Fay. He'll come to 69 laps completed. We are quickly approaching halfway through the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. Brendan Albert's around in turn two, and that'll be our first caution on the day. And with a couple laps away from the halfway mark, this could severely affect how this race may go on, how it may play with the finish. The flow of this one has been disturbed.
Hi, I'm Chris Duncan, and I've been building, installing, and servicing pressure washers with Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems for over 20 years. At Easy-Kleen, we service all makes and models of pressure washers. At all of our branches across North America, we have in-house, and we also have mobile service. We also have preventative maintenance programs and emergency service, so you're never down. Give us a call at Easy-Kleen.
And of course, King Competition 2 for 2 on the day in features with William Siliker in the 2 for beginner bandoleros, and then an outlaw bandoleros, Ethan Hicken in the number 5. We'll see if Ashton Tucker perhaps might make it a 3 for 3. As of course, yes, as a matter of fact, might as well point that out. We have the choose rule here in the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. So for all restarts, not the start, but for all restarts, drivers will be told to choose this time by or whatever it may be. And when you see that white little triangle there on the backstretch, drivers will go up to it and choose their lane, how they want to restart, whether it's on the inside or the outside. If you end up driving through the cone, unfortunately, it is a penalty. You must go to the back. Tim Elliott gives the field a 1 to green. The Petty International Raceway pace car will head off. It's going to be Braden Langell on the inside. Ashton Tucker's chosen the outside. The outside has been the prevalent line for the most part, but there are some drivers here that can make the inside work. We have seen it before. Through 3 and 4, restart time. Langell and Tucker lead the field back to green. Down the backstretch, Langell barely edges ahead. We'll see if he can lead another lap here in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. No, Tucker ahead at the line. He'll lead another lap. And Tucker will look to clear for the lead. No, he stays up high in the preferred lane. He'll clear ahead anyways. Langell back to second. Woolridge versus Rogers for that third and final provisional podium position. Was talking to him earlier, interviewed him as well in the pit area. He wants to make sure he brings his car home in one clean piece and be conservative for most part. But of course, we have been seeing him, as we're seeing right now, challenging for front positions. He will not be afraid to challenge if he wants to. And again, for a young hotshot, of course, how else are you supposed to learn? How else are you supposed to figure yourself out against some of the veterans and even other young guns in super late models? Tucker leads another one. Langell, both of the top two single file. Now Woolridge will get ahead as Messer from the outside goes to fourth. Rogers will fall back to fifth.
Halfway right here. Tim's too busy fucking watching.
And thus, we are halfway through the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. We had 75 lap complete and now 76 coming to 77. Now in the second half of this first round for the 2025 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. A pair of cars with a 1 on each side, except you had a 0 for Woolridge. Going at it for third, Woolridge underneath. As you see, Lonnie Somerville and Nicholas Noggle battling it out for what looks to be 8th. It is as Somerville was sideways on the high line. He gets it back straight. He's going to cross over, look underneath the left rear of the number 08 Bricon Construction Fury machine. Dave Oblinison behind there along with Gage Gilby. Gilby in 11th, Robbie McEwen in behind. Messer still looking underneath that left rear of the 01. But again, this inside line has not been working out under these slick racing and track conditions. The sun is really doing its effect here on the high banks of Petty International Raceway. Oblinus looks underneath Somerville at the back of the top 10. Back towards the front, Langell has been making sure that Tucker does not get away. It's been an impressive run for the Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia driver. And if he were able to pull off the LV Auto Parts and Repair victory here today, that would be quite the statement. Again, it's been a couple years since he has been full-time in super late model competition. Marcel LeBlanc, high in turns 1 and 2. He'll head back to the pit area. Issues continuing for the number 30 East Coast Auto Salvage car. LeBlanc picked up a top 15 in his super late model debut last year in the Mr. Lube Plus Tires 150 here at Petty Raceway for the Fort Garry Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour. heck of a veterans battle continuing with Somerville and Oblinus down the backstretch. Of course, Somerville continues to have the advantage. That middle high line continuing to be the prevalent one, the chosen one. Meanwhile, up front, Tucker and Langell have been going at it down low. Tucker's one of those drivers that just seems to make it work so perfectly on the inside groove here at Petty Raceway, even with those curbs all the way around the inside of this racetrack. There are many people out there that are like, how does he do it? Makes it work so perfectly, so cleanly. The dominance out of him in the last couple of years here in super late model competition across the Maritimes has been second to none. Still has yet to pick up an IWK 250 win. He did finish on the podium last year with the Pro Stock Tour. It was only Prince Edward Island last year that he was not able to claim a victory at. Did finish on the podium and got a top 5 in his 2 runs there, as Brandon Albert was loose there down the front stretch. Outside the top 10, Gilby is ahead of a battle between Hudson Weston and Robbie McEwen. Weston gets ahead. This is the track where he officially claimed Rookie of the Year honors for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series 2 years ago. Picked up 2 top 10 finishes last year. Finished 6th in the Riverglade International back in 2024. And yeah, Weston, McEwen, and Fay are all right in back of the 25G. Tucker's starting to pull away from Langell. He's going to look to get past the Easy-Kleen number 97 of Chris Duncan. Duncan, a former Pro Stock champion here 11 years ago. Only 15 of these super late models left on the lead lap. Messer has continued to be all over the back end of Woolridge for third. Has not been able to make anything happen just yet, as we are past 100 laps complete, 102 remaining, and 48 laps to go in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. Ashton Tucker, your all-time winningest driver in the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. 4 wins last year, and then 1 to conclude the inaugural season. He'll look to make it 6 on his career. And will look to remain undefeated here at Petty International Raceway when he's running the 2, of course, not counting Jonathan Hicken. Oh, Gosby and Noggle make contact in turns 3 and 4. Not sure if Noggle pushed Gosby out of the way. If we do remember back 2 years ago, these two did get together a couple of times at Oyster Bed Speedway in the Chapman Brothers Construction 150 in June of 2023. Gosby gets back ahead. Oblinus now will look underneath the 08, who had a bit of a moment there, back in almost sideways. 48 still looking in deep. As Caden Tufts is going to go another lap down at the hands of Ashton Tucker. Braden Langell going to get by Chris Duncan. Gosby, Noggle, and Oblinas continue to have a heated battle for what looks to be 7th. Smoke out of the back of the 10 of Devin Snell down the front stretch. Not sure if there might be anything going on with him, but he continues going. Oh, spin! Oblinas, turn 2. Yellow. As Robbie McEwen heads to the pit area, smoke still out of the back of the 10 of Devin Snell. It wouldn't surprise me. I didn't exactly catch a full glimpse of what happened there in turns 1 and 2, but it would not surprise me if there was contact with the 08 or the 16. About over a dozen victories in Sportsman's and Super Late models at Petty altogether. But it has been a little while since he has won here on the high banks of Petty Raceway. His last Super Late model win coming 10 years ago, literally a decade ago, on exactly May 16th, 2015. As we go double file, everyone chose their lane. Lange on the inside again, it'll be Tucker on the high side. So Langell, Tucker, or Tucker Langell technically. Messer, Woolridge, and Gosby are your top 5. Rogers, 6th. Somerville, 7th. Weston, 8th. And then Greg Fay and Gage Gilby ran at the top 10. Tim Ellie gives them the 1 to green. Pace car will roll off. 41 laps remaining to settle the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 and round number 1 for the 2025 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series season. Through 3 and 4 to the green flag, we're back underway. Langell might have been a bit sideways there through turns 1 and 2, but he hangs on, stays low on the 2 of Ashton Tucker, making it pretty close with him. They're about dooring each other down the front stretch. Woolridge sideways up high, about 3 wide. He gets back ahead. Gosby takes advantage. Messer to 3rd. Tucker will clear the way as per usual. Now 39 laps remaining. Messer in that preferred lane against Braden Langell. Ashton Tucker versus Ryan Messer has been familiar in the past, particularly at Speedway 660 in their Pro Stock 250 in past years. And oh boy, would there be a party in Harvey, New Brunswick tonight if Ryan Messer were to steal the win and claim his 2nd career Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series feature victory and his first since 2 years ago in the Riverview Ford season opener at Speedway 660. Top 3 have cleared the way. It's Langell ahead. of a young gun and a veteran from Prince Edward Island, Dylan Gosby versus Tanton Woolridge. That might be a consistent battle over at Oysterbed Speedway next weekend. Very well, that could be the battle for the win. That's your top five. It's Lonnie Somerville in back in 6th, Rogers 7th, Weston and Fay battling for 8th. And how about Ken Vincent back on the lead lap as Oblinus up high in 3 and 4. Noggle had to back out. It was almost 3 wide between the 48-08 and 25G. But how about PEI's Ironman? Great redemption thus far, back on the lead lap. Tucker, Messer, and Langell pulling away. Gosby trying to keep Woolridge reeled in for 4th. But the 01 starting to get away as the 23 and the 41 will duke it out for 6th. 48 and the 8 battling it out. So are the 08 and the 25G. Couple of drivers you'd find more familiar on the Fort Garry Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour. Noggle looking for his first win here since the Riverglade International 3 years ago. Gilby still has yet to pick up a super late model victory since he first started last year. Best finish of second, at Oysterbed Speedway. In the BJ's Truck Center 150. Fell just short of the win to Robbie McEwen. In an extremely chaotic race, to say the least. Oblinus and Greg Fay, a pair of Speedway 660 champions, were duking it out there at the back of the top 10. Rogers still looking underneath Somerville, but not able to make the inside work. Oblinus might be able to make something happen against Weston. Ken Vincent loose off of 4. He keeps that one going. He has another car with 8 on that one. At a 0 in front of Nicholas Noggle, who will go to his outside. And now 23 laps to go in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 here at Petty International Raceway. I won't say Ashton Tucker is long gone. Ryan Messer might be reeling him in. We'll see if maybe Messer saved his tires, his car, for the closing laps. Now, if we get a late race yellow, that could change everything. And if you have Messer and Tucker on the front row, buckle up. .26, 01, and 16 still comfortable, 3rd through 5th. And then Somerville, Rogers, and Oblinus clear back of the top 10. Greg Fay rounding out your best 10 cars at the moment. Relatively single file throughout the field, 19 laps to go. Ashton Tucker will be coming to 18 this time by as he gets past Cal Hatfield. Rogers underneath Oblinus for 7th. The 48 stays ahead. Gage Gilby has started to fall back. Now to 14th. Somerville versus Oblinus for position 6 as Ashton Tucker gets 15 laps to go in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. And it looks like Oblinus has made it work on the inside of Lonnie Somerville. Oh, Hudson Weston has trouble. Tire down, left rear. He goes to pit road in turns 1 and 2. Caution on the speedway. That changes everything.
12,000 models. Thousands of units sold. Sales to over 20 countries. We are Easy-Kleen. For over 40 years, we've been manufacturing the hardest working pressure washers in the world, right here in our backyard. We are looking for people with a good attitude and a willingness to learn. If you want to be part of something great for generations to come, email us today. Easy-Kleen, Kings County proud.
And I hope that each and every one of you in the grandstands and even in the pit area as well are having a phenomenal time here as well. As it'll be Tucker up high, Messer down low for this 15-lap shootout to decide the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. Round number 1 for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series in year number 3. As we'll have the rest of the field towards the back get double file. Messer, Tucker front row, Tanton Woolridge and Braden Langell row 2. Do not count out Woolridge to possibly surprise with an upset victory. Dylan Gosby at the end of the top 5, and that's Lonnie Somerville 6th, Dave Oblinus 7th, Mike Rogers 8th. Rounding at the top 10 are Greg Fay and Nicholas Noggle. Tim Elliott gives them the 1 to green. This is set to be a barn burner of a finish. Could it be Ashton Tucker, the dominant driver today? Could Ryan Messer or Tan Ward steal it? How about Braden Langell? He's led a couple of laps. Through 3 and 4, 15 laps to go. Green flag! As per usual, Tucker will edge ahead of Ryan Messer. Top 2 single file. It's Woolridge versus Langell for 3rd. Somerville might have given a couple looks there to maybe make it 3 wide and go in the middle. Not exactly advised, but at this point, it's the closing laps. You got to make whatever you can make work. He would be in for a top 5 finish at the moment, but the podium is right there. He'd be looking for his Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series podium finish since 2 years ago at our season finale here at Petty International Raceway. 11 laps to go for Ashton Tucker. Ryan Messer going to try to reel him in these closing laps. Langell's going to try to put himself in front of the 01, and he will. And now it's Somerville up high. He had a bit of a slide through 3 and 4. That might help Woolridge to clear for 4th, but no, he's going to still contend for a podium finish against Braden Langell. It's 10 laps to go. They'll be coming to 9 this time. Might have been a near touch or so there as Woolridge is having to defend himself from a plethora of maritime racing veterans in Gosby, Somerville, Oblinus, and Mike Rogers. Tucker and Messer away from the rest of this field. Langell looking to do the same. Tucker stays low. Messer middle to high-ish. Oh, Tufts and Albert make contact towards the back of the field, but as we shift our focus back to the front, Woolridge still comfortable there in 4th, but his rearview mirror is filled by a bunch of journeymen within maritime stock car racing. Ashton Tucker coming to 5 laps to go, looking to continue to remain unbeaten in Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series competition at Petty International Raceway. Never know if there could be a ticking time bomb towards the middle of the field in back of the top 5. Woolridge goes high to make sure Somerville doesn't gain a potential advantage on him for 4th, but Somerville's going to go low anyways and challenge the youngster. Popsicle sticks in the air from Tim Elliott. 2 to go for the number 2. As long as Tucker's car doesn't have any issues, remember last year's season finale where the car broke on the cool down lap after earning the championship. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen on the last lap. White flag for Miramichi's Ashton Tucker. He is well ahead of the rest of this field. He's dominated this one through 3 and 4. Checker flag in the air. He remains undefeated at Petty with the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Ashton Tucker wins the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. Ryan Messer second. Braden Langell third in his Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series debut. Tan Woolridge fourth, and Lonnie Somerville rounds out the top 5. We will head trackside to talk with our top 3. Once again, of course, Ashton Tucker being a late entry into this race just yesterday. Revealed on our entry list this morning. Was initially in for the Fort Garry Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour race here at Petty Raceway that was supposed to happen yesterday. Race got postponed, still wanted to take some laps here around the high banks of Petty and with the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Still has yet to be beaten. Braden Langell out of his 26. After finishing third, Ryan Messer will climb out of his number 1 waterfront pub and eatery, McLaughlin Overhead Doors Machine. Ashton Tucker going to get ready to climb out of the number 2 White Lightning Auto Sales and Performance and Empire Luxury Limousines King Competition car for Bragg Silger Motorsports. Gets the hat on. He's out of the car. Give it up for your winner, Ashton Tucker! Braden giving Ashton the handshake. Ashton, you're just doing your usual thing as usual, eh?
It's like the band of days.
Just as usual, eh?
No, it was great. I'm glad we decided to come here today. Now it was a great day. Last minute decision to come here, but I don't think we'll regret it.
And unbeaten here at Petty International Raceway and Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series competition. That average finish of yours here at Petty continues to be first place. Just talk about this dominant performance of yours and some of those battles they even had from time to time. Ryan Messer and Braden Langell on some of those restarts in particular.
That's awesome. Get another win here. It's just always fun winning, but awesome battling with Braden again. We battled a lot back in the band, I was saying. It's good to see him back in the pro stock, and I'm sure we'll be racing lots together this summer.
And, of course, a solid start to your 2025 Maritime Racing season. Second place back at Scotia Speedway with the Fort Garry Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour. Now here first place here at Petty International Raceway.
Yeah, no, it's a great start to the season. You can't thank the crew enough that could come today, and a great car. And just congrats to Braden and Ryan on the podium. It's nice to see a bunch of old Bando kids up front.
And of course, hopefully, will we perhaps see you next sometime down the line with us later this year?
Hard to say. We didn't plan on coming to this one, so you never know, I guess.
Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series champion last year, now going for a Pro Stock Tour champion. Imagine if you're able to pull off both of those 2 years in a row, eh?
Yeah, last summer gave us a good taste of what a points battle tastes like, and it's a lot of work. You need to have a lot of luck on your side, but we're going to give it our best and see what we can do. And
who gets the thanks for being able to come on out here and get the job done?
Obviously, Brad. He owns the car and lets me drive it. I can't thank him enough. All the crew, they're great help. They've done a ton of work today. We weren't the best when we unloaded, but got it dialed in. And all the sponsors, White Lightning Auto Center, Paisley's Interior Construction, Empire Limousines, Lefties, Moncton Truck Center, MVCSA, Chris Drewer Plumbing, Big Wheels, Vi Construction, JTR, King Competition. They always give us a great baseline setup and always here to help, and glad to get another win.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's your race winner of the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. It's Ashton Tucker. And now for your second place finisher, Ryan Messer. Late race restart there. We saw you come through in the long run of those final 50 laps or so, second place. You tried to reel in Ashton Tucker, fell just short, but quite the performance to end this one off.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't. I was just hoping to finish when I come to this place. This place has been evil to me the last few years, so just to be on the podium is just definitely didn't see it coming. So I'll take that all day. Yeah, I just tried to get Ashton on the bottom there, and coming in the restart, I hesitated a bit, went early, so I kind of woed up, and then I knew once he was out on me a bit, I wasn't going to get by him on the bottom. It was hard to pass today. So congrats to them. They got her figured out. So this is the first race on this car. A lot of it's the old car, but there's a lot of new stuff, so we're still just kind of figuring it out, but it definitely shows promise, so we'll keep working at it.
So do we keep calling you Big Orange despite the more prevalent black on the car?
Well, there's not quite as much of it this year, so.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you. I also just want to give a shout out to all my sponsors and my crew that's all down here for helping us do this. I wouldn't be able to do it without them.
That's your second place finisher, Ryan Messer. And now third place from Nova Scotia, Braden Langell. This is quite the statement finish here in your first Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series start. How about that as well, too? You're back into full-time Super Late Model competition across the region, particularly at the Fork Area Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour. What a run.
Yeah, it feels good. I haven't been a race car in 3 years, so to go to Halifax last week and finish 6th, and then come here and finish 3rd, do our own stuff at home, so it feels pretty good.
And I mean, you were challenging guys like Ashton Tucker, Ryan Messer up there as well. You being up against a driver like Tucker, nonetheless, of course, being unbeaten here at Petty Raceway and Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series competition. To be up against someone like his pedigree and some of these other drivers in this Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series field, how's it feel?
Like I said, it feels great. Like these guys race week in and week out, and I was on the golf course for the last 3 years. So I got some work to do. I got a lot of work to do. I made a couple little rookie mistakes, but that comes with the time away from a car. So congrats to Ashton, Ryan Messer. It comes back. This is like Bando days and 660 on Saturday night, so it feels pretty cool to see everybody grow up a little bit and the cars grow up a little bit. And like I said, it feels really good. This is stuff. We're doing our own stuff now, so I can't thank Velocity Machining and Welding, Tektronix Machine Works, RLS Construction, obviously Coldstream Beer, and we'll probably have a couple of them, and maybe see if the boss will let me off tomorrow.
Do we expect to see you with us once again, maybe down the line? I mean, Oysterbed Speedway is coming up next Saturday. Would that be a potential option, or are you looking more down the line?
I got the question quite a bit today, actually, and my answer was we'll see how today shakes out. So we made pretty good, had a pretty good day. So who knows? You might see us in Oysterbed, or we have the July 5th 660 race checked off on the block, so we'll definitely be at that one. And like I said, you might see us at Oysterbed next weekend.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's your third place finisher, number 26 at Braden Langell. Folks, give it up for your top three.